Hello, this is a new product presentation by the Workfast company of a newly developed trigger frame. This trigger frame permits roller covers to be ejected from the frame automatically so your hands don't get messy from paint. We're also going to do a comparison of our frame versus a competitor's frame. Let's take a look at our frame first. Oh, please note also that the opinions expressed in this video are those of the Workfast company. Let's take a look at our frame. Our frame is comprised of a nice ergonomic handle, very comfortable, 6mm steel wire, a lever, an eject lever, and a cage. The cage is comprised of our unique feature here, which is this living hinge here, which expands and will expand the O-ring to grip the inside of any 9-inch roller cover. Roller covers do vary in the diameter on the inside slightly. Ours, again, our rubber O-ring or silicone O-ring will expand to grip the interior of all 9-inch covers. Basically, you install the cover, you push till you hear a click, it's ready to go. When you want to toss out the roller cover, you're done painting, you pull on the lever, it ejects. You push it on any way you can, hear a click, eject. Push it on, ready to go, eject. The nice thing is if you were, say you were changing out colors, you can technically go like this without putting your hands on the roller cover at all. Eject this one, save it in a plastic bag, put on another cover. Your hands never even touch the frame itself. Oh, I'm sorry, your hands never touch the cover. Alright, so that's our frame. Let's take a look at the competitor's frame. And we're going to compare. Okay, their unit has an 8mm wire versus our wire, which is a 6mm wire. Typically 8mm wires are used in contractor grade frames. It's kind of overkill for these. These are DIY frames, so it's kind of overkill. They may need this 8mm heavier wire for to help with their structure, to keep their parts together. I'm not sure exactly. So now their unit weighs about 14 ounces. Our unit weighs 10 ounces. This unit actually can weigh 7 ounces if we use an aluminum, an 8mm aluminum. That's an option to it. Using an 8mm aluminum wire will take this down to 7 ounces, which would be about half the weight of this unit. But right now, the steel wire feels very, very light, and for a DIYer it'll be fine. The other difference, the weight distribution on their unit seems to be, all the weight seems to be on the right hand side. So when you're holding it, it wants to tilt in your hand. It's always pulling on the right hand side. So I could see this as, for a DIYer, to be a problem. Not only the weight of the unit being 14 ounces, but it's always pulling to the right. It could be bad on the wrist, or it could just be hard on the wrist. So we got weight. Ours is quite a bit lighter. It's more balanced than theirs. Let's look at some other issues here, or other differences. Ours has a nice unique feature on the handle where it's got this design where it will catch on the lip of a bucket. So if you're using a 5-gallon bucket and you're done painting for a while, or you're going to lunch, you just clip it on the side of the bucket. Or if you're cutting in and you want to hold your roller somewhere, you put it inside the bucket and it clips on the edge of the bucket. Theirs, if you're using a 5-gallon bucket, won't do that. So it won't clip on here or here. So basically, if you're using a 5-gallon bucket, this will probably be just submerged in the paint in the 5-gallon bucket, if you're using a 5-gallon bucket. So differences in the handles. Their handle also, it seems to be designed for a one-way use. So if, say, here's a wall you're rolling up, you're rolling it this way, the thumb goes here and the finger goes here. You flip it over, I mean, your thumb still goes there, but it just doesn't feel right this way. So if you're painting up against a wall on this side, so it just seems to be designed for rolling this way with that end up against, or this way. Ours again is designed the same on both ways, where you're holding it this way or that way. Let's look at let's look at loading. Loading theirs, you look at it. I've seen people in the store pick these up. They put it on. It doesn't go on. They don't know how to do it. And it doesn't say how to do it in the instruction card unless you rip it open. And then it says, secure the easy release lever in the locked position, which is kind of confusing. There's a lock on here and an unlock, and it's confusing. But what you've got to do is you've actually got to pull this back until this locks, which expands the 4 fingers they have here. Now the 4 fingers, the diameter is larger than the roller cover. Now there's friction put on there. Okay, so it's very confusing. And again, until you open up the card, and even when you read the instructions, it's still confusing with a lock, unlock. But on ours, you put it on, you push it onto here, click. Just like you would any other roller cover, you're gonna automatically, instinctively try to push it on, and then to eject, pull on the lever. Now we're proposing this interactive cell card. Try Me, and it basically has 2 instructions, number 1 and number 2. Number 1, push the cover until you hear a click, pull the lever to eject, with a couple of pictures there. So basically this will be installed when it's manufactured. It stays on because of some crimps we have here, but yet it comes off easily enough for the DIYer to pull it off when they're ready to use it. But we're hoping that the DIYer will look at it. It says Try Me. They'll look at it, they'll pick it up, read number 1 and number 2, you push it on, hear a click, you pull the lever, push it on, you hear a click. Again, an interactive cell card. We thought it's kind of cool. You get to get the DIYer or pick it up or and play with it a little bit. So the differences again between ours and theirs. Ours has the unique interactive cell card. It's easier to install the roller cover. Theirs has it's kind of complicated in my opinion, the directions. You can't see the directions until you tear it open, and where you have to lock the handle in this place before you can load it, or lock the lever in that position before you can load it. It's heavy as compared to ours. Ours is balanced better than theirs. Our handle is more ergonomical. So we've got weight. Ours is weighted 4 ounces less than theirs, and again it can be weighted to 7 ounces if you use the aluminum wire, which is half the weight of this one. The other issue, that's a huge issue, the whole objective with these trigger frames is to keep your hands clean. Well, on their unit, once you've painted, the roller cover is going to be covered with paint. And again, if you used a 5-gallon bucket or anything else, this will be covered with paint if you've dipped it in. Spatter will get all over in these areas here. Well, look where your fingers are at when you're injecting. Your thumb's where paint's going to be up in here. Your fingers are down here where the paint's in there. It's almost contacting the roller cover itself. So that's an issue, where you're actually putting your hands where the paint's at. Our unit, you put the cover on, paint will be down in this area here, paint will be on the roller. Our thumb's not down here. Our thumb's way up here, if you're even going to use your thumb. Okay, your fingers are here rather than down here on theirs. So you're way up, you're out of the way of the paint when you're ejecting, so that's another key feature of ours. Again, thank you for watching this presentation of the Work Fast new trigger roller.